Lorna, Jen, I've had the chance to meet Nick before. I've been in these conversations, and each time I am, it's just, you start getting excited around the learning. What your impressions?
I think we need to go make pancakes. Oh, I absolutely love that thought around, in order for people to really engage, they need to be a part of the process
and understand it's not simple.
And it goes all the way back to, we often will say, collaborative response is not a program. And, some people just in their not quite understanding what it is that we do, they'll ask us, how does your program work?
Can we get training?
Yeah. And that 1-day workshop that will allow us to do collaborative response. But really, that analogy that Nick shared around the pancake batter is exactly true, is that, we can't, it's not a program that you need that complete involvement of your leadership and your team to make site-specific decisions on how you move forward.
I really liked his approach around effectiveness and efficiency. So from the numeracy screens to the conversation about literacy screens to his approach with the collaborative team meetings, right? It's all about being effective and efficient and getting the most out of the time that you're spending. So, assessment in 4 questions, I'm like, oh.
But right there, that idea that we've often said and focused in on, that you're grappling, you're really wrestling with ideas. When you think about those 3 foundational components, it's integral in creating your continuum of supports, and the collaborative structures and processes where you're engaging in that work. But I think Nick really alluded to something that's, quite prolific and thoughtful of the data and evidence. The design of those screeners, that can involve some real deep conversations around pedagogy as well. And it doesn't need to be highly complex. In fact, it's almost like a podcast we had recently with Buck Mountain Central, of the idea of having to simplify and condense is actually really deep work. So I love that. The line that sat with me, I wrote it down as he said it, was the idea in the collaborative team meeting to really listen. The words he used were soak people in. And I thought, oh, that's such a great thing to think about, that in that collaborative team meeting, it's not all about, I'll tell you what I do, but I'm really listening to hear somebody else's thinking, someone else's breakdown of how they approach instruction and learning.
Well, and he used the words listening deeply in those collaborative team meetings, and it just made me think about, we often talk about, leaders being part of that because they can learn so much about their staff and the practice within their classrooms. And that's exactly what he's speaking to, is that when we're listening deeply to teachers explaining what it is that they do in their classrooms, we come to understand that there are strategies that we can use in our math class, but those same strategies can be used in any class, regardless of the subject area.
But you sharing that's going to start forcing me to think about my own practice as well, which is, again, right at the heart of that collaborative team meeting structure.
So if we were going to summarize the key learnings, first one, make the pancakes, get people involved in the process so that they have an invested interest.
Yeah.
So love it.
Effectiveness and efficiency. There is a purpose to the structure and what we do with intention in order to get deeper information. And 3, listen deeply in the collaborative team meetings so that you can learn from others. But he also talked about that idea of blog posts, podcasts, listen to the people that are sharing so that you can learn from them.
That was so incredibly powerful. And boy, I'd love to be able to hear lots more about his work. So.
And Jen, once again, nailed it with the three key points. Love it. Can't wait for the next time we get to dig into the work with another school.